So, as a reminder, only 2 more days left until the light side cart closes and will be closed until next, when is that? Fall. Okay, so we've got multiple months where there's going to be no light side. So, I wanted to bring on one of our light siders from the last course, who's become a good friend of mine, Barb, and get her opinion as a newer grad to give her insight, also being a woman, and maybe this will help some people. So let's get Barb in here. Hey, Barb.
Hey, how's it going, Kyle?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing great. Nice weather
Good.
in Pennsylvania, so I'm pretty grateful of that.
Yeah, that's right. It's not always the case, right?
No, it's been pretty cold this winter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, let's look forward to a nice summer then.
for sure. Yeah, I'm flying to a lot of places for CE courses this summer and plus vacation. So it's gonna be a great summer. Plus
Good.
vaccinated. Yeah, it's
Nice.
awesome.
Fantastic.
Yeah, thanks.
So thanks for taking the time. I know you just finished work and you're in your car, so thanks for making this happen.
Of course.
Why don't you take a second? So real quickly, Barb was in our last light side group. She is a light sider. And why don't you real quickly just explain who you are, where you practice, how long you've been practicing, etc.
Sure. So I'm Barbara McGee, and I am practicing currently in Shrewsbury, Pennsylvania, Central PA. I have been out for 5 years, and yeah, so here I am.
Fantastic. So, you've been out 5 years. We've had a lot of, I would say, new grads. I wouldn't consider you a new grad anymore, but newer 1 to 2 years. We have a lot of people that are in the like 10 to 20 years. You're
Right.
kind of in the middle.
Yes, in the middle.
Um,
Not
yeah,
completely new, but not old either.
right. Yeah, you're getting to a point where I think you're getting into your groove,
Yep.
clinically, your skills are up. Why would someone like you at your level, at being out 5 years, why would someone like you join a course like Lightside?
Oh, it's a good question. I feel like 5 years out there, I mean, there are a lot of things I've learned, but I just feel like there's still so many things out there that I don't know about. Like social media is so great these days. You get to see so many great dentists doing awesome work. A lot of times you get to compare yourself with other people. Sometimes you're like, oh, I'm not good enough. You just put a lot of shame on yourself. And sometimes you're lost. You're like, what do I do to become a better dentist? And I put myself in a lot of stressful situations, and probably a lot of dentists do as well. And then isolation, if you don't get to talk to a lot of other dentists, other friends don't really get the stress that I am in every time I talk to them that, hey, it's really stressful as a dentist, like the suicide rate is high. But they're like, well, all jobs are stressful. So I just feel light-sider. Once I joined it, I had no idea. It was like really stressful, and I saw your promotion and ad on Instagram. I was like, oh my gosh, this is like talking to me. And I just feel like it's a great light-sider. It's a really good communication, networking group. You get to talk to so many different dentists around the world, and you get to share your issues. I've got to talk to so many other people about my issues at work and with patients. It's just a great way to get a feedback from other people, and basically they really get me. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, you said something that, we talk about in the course and you've heard me talk about multiple times is
Mm,
we don't get that sympathy, we don't get that empathy from people that haven't been in a dental chair, not in a dental chair, but treating patients in a dental chair and know what that's like. There's something very specific about the experiences that we have and the stresses that we have based on, being a dentist. So I'm sure you have friends that are
right.
non-dentists and you say, I'm having stress at work. And like you said, they said, oh, well, every job is stressful. Or what do you mean, Barb, you're a doctor? I mean, you make good money, et cetera, et cetera. And I think having the group that we have we can talk openly. We immediately get it. You know, someone says, I'm having a problem with a staff member or patient or whatever, or loans. I mean, like, we've all been there and we're all like, oh, I had that. This is what I did. It worked or it didn't work. And we can bounce ideas off of. And I think that's what I've enjoyed the most about this course is the
Mm-hmm.
community aspect, you
For
know,
sure. Yeah, and
and
also I love, sorry to interrupt, also
no,
I love the Zoom meetings that we've been having every week, every other week, and like all the topics you brought up every single time is just so relevant. It's a lot of things that we don't really think about as dentists. We're like,
yeah,
oh, now this is a great way to reduce stress. This is a great way to communicate with patients. So, as I feel like anyone, 5 years out, 10 years out, 20 years out, I'm sure everyone has their own kinds of stress, and maybe they don't know certain things until they join the Lightsiders. Yeah.
yeah. So before this course, what were maybe your top two or three stress points for you in your career?
Um, sure. So, I started with this practice. It's the same boss I've been working with the past 2 years, and he purchased another office from someone else, and he asked me, "Hey, Barb, do you want to grow this practice for me, being the leader of that practice?" So, I've always been an associate dentist for the past 4 years, and I have just worked with my own assistant. I never really got to lead a whole team. So I was so stressed out since last June, and I have to deal with so many different personalities and assistants, hygienists, front desk, and everyone's personality is so different. And I was just really stressed out. I am a very sensitive person, and sometimes I do feel like I get defensive a little bit, and I was really stressed out. So that's one thing,
Yeah.
and I feel like I really need to vent to someone and really learn how to be a better leader. So that's one. Another one would just be, I just get stressed overall as a dentist,
Hmm.
talking to patients, dealing with all the, all the stress in life, but with everything at the same time, life, work balance, how to
Yeah,
not think about dentistry when I'm done with work. Yeah.
that's right. Yeah, it's
Um,
hard. You know, we're in school for so long thinking of, I'm Barb the dentist. And then we have to kind of remember that we have to put our profession aside sometimes and think of like, I'm Barb the person. And
right.
I had a hard time with that.
For sure. And just basically, I would just feel like I'm lost a little bit, like what's the purpose of life? What's the purpose of career? That as a dentist, just I feel like joining the Life Center kind of helped me um, how to find a trajectory of life, finding a purpose, basically.
Yeah, it was really nice during this process to see you grow too and to see you kind of find your purpose in life. It was really nice for me to see that happen and,
Thank
see
you.
the changes in you.
Thank you. I've definitely grown so much the past couple months for sure. Yeah, thanks to you, Kyle.
Oh, no, thank you. You put in the work, and that's what it takes. You were there at almost all of our live sessions. You watched the videos, you read the workbooks, and that's
Right.
what it takes. I think there's no magic bullet. Just joining the course doesn't mean you're going to get a great outcome. But like you and many others, you put in the work. You were there. You had the conversations. You were vulnerable. I mean, you especially were very vulnerable, like everybody. And that's
A little bit, Kyle. Huh.
um.
Now it's better.
So what was your biggest takeaway from the course or from the community?
Oh, there's a lot. Um, the first thing that I learned, like that I really loves triangle of blame that you talked about during the first couple of weeks. Me, the patient, and then the third factor. So I feel a lot of times, when patients really hard to work with, they're gagger, strong tongue. Certain things don't work out as well as we want them to. A lot of times I just blame myself a lot for that, and I just feel ashamed. But the triangle blame basically tells me, hey, it's not just me. There's this third factor as well. And I've been telling my assistants about that too. A lot of times when they feel like they're not doing a good job, they're putting themselves down, and I'll tell them that, and that way we're able to actually grow from our experience instead of, being down all the time. So that's one. Another one is we talk about, work and life, finding the purpose of life. You want to find the purpose of life. So being a dentist is not the whole purpose of your whole life. Being a dentist is great. You can use it as a passion, but you want to have a great purpose of your life. So you're saying you want to be a dad, like purpose of your life is being a great dad. For me, maybe becoming a happier person, travel more, help more people out. So that's a great way to separate life from dentistry. So not just totally in it. The third thing I would say, we're talking about the humility in the Lifesider Club, and I really, really like that topic. You're saying, how we should be humble and empathetic as a dentist, and you want to connect with patients, Once you get to connect with patients more, you get to become a happier dentist, and I really resonate with that.
Yeah, that was a great topic. Yeah, so we have a Lightside course, and then after the course, you get the opportunity to join the Lightside Club, and the club is a monthly club that we meet twice a month. And our last monthly meeting was about humility, and we went deep into this topic, and we're actually going to be talking about it next week as well. And yeah, it's crazy how that relates to dentistry. I hadn't even thought about that until we had Jeffrey recommend that topic, and
That's
yeah,
awesome.
wow. I mean, I learned so much in the last few weeks with that.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. And also how, we should do meditation, workouts, In the winter, I feel like I was really depressed, I just feel like I didn't have the energy to work out as much either. So you were recommending even 5 minutes or 10 minutes of squats or lunges, just anything to help you kind of ease the mood up a little bit and be more positive throughout the day. So that really helped out a lot. So a lot of times I feel like, I didn't really get to do my 30-minute workout. I feel really bad about it. But if I did 10-minute, workout, and I'll feel so much better about it.
I saw you on your Instagram. You're walking outside, even in the snow. You're dancing. You're doing your thing. So
Yes.
that was very cool to see. Definitely following all the directions of the course. So yeah, you're a ideal student, taking all the direction, putting the work in, and getting the results. You can kind of see it on your face how much happier you are. I want to switch gears a little bit because we have this topic that I've been talking to a few women about. Have there been any stressors to you specifically about being a woman?
Yeah, I would say so. Being a female dentist, I feel like I am more people-pleasing. I'm just genuinely nicer to people compared to male dentists, maybe. I don't know. Or maybe there's some female staff members that feel like they might be threatened by me being a female dentist. I do feel a lot of resistance by them, especially being younger and female dentists, and also me being an immigrant too. I'm trying to blend into the culture, so that probably plays a part too. And I don't want to upset people, and a lot of times it's hard for me to stand up for myself. A lot of times I know that I'm the right, I made the right decision, but a lot of times I just can't stand up for myself in that moment. So I definitely feel like so, and I'm trying to actually, set up my boundary more and be a strong leader. And it's not easy, but I feel like I've come a long way, and now in my office, I get to talk with my, assistants and hygienists and front desk. I don't feel like, oops, sorry. My camera just did. So yeah, I don't feel like I'm afraid to talk to people as much anymore.
That's good.
I've become more vulnerable, with people. So I feel like the resistance is still going to be there, and then I'm just going to hope for I'll be a better better leader, better communicator in the future. So that way I'll feel less resistance in the future.
Yeah, well, I think this course came at a good time for you with like your transition into leadership role,
Yeah.
and all of the topics that we've talked about both in the course and in the club with vulnerability and humility and setting boundaries and all of these kind of things. I think has really helped you in your role, and it came at the right time for you. It couldn't have
Perfect
came at a
timing.
more
Yeah,
important time.
for sure. Yeah. It's awesome.
So what advice would you give for young doctors? Let's say other doctors that maybe, 1 to 5 years out.
Yeah, so 1 to 5 years out, I just feel like as dentists, when you're just out, unless you have really great dentist mentors, I feel like it's very rare to find those mentors, and unless your dad or your uncle or family member is a dentist, it is hard to get the help you need. And a lot of times, I feel like younger dentists can be more lost than other people, and getting into a community full of dentists who are, so honest and so willing to help out each other, I think it's really, really, really helpful. Um, and also, you were talking about, being a solo practitioner versus working in a, partnership
Hmm.
office. Being an isolated dentist is really not great for your mental health. So if 1 to 5 years out, I feel like they can just learn so many things from this course, about how to handle the stress and how to make your mental health a better place, how to be a better person, and how to be a better dentist and happier dentist, Yeah, I feel like there's just so many things to learn and find a mentor, all that good stuff.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. Having a mentor, having a community is important, whether that is through a course like this or not. Someone needs to have a community of like-minded dentists that understand what you're going through on a daily basis, right? And don't kind of blow off your feelings of feeling nervous or feeling anxious or whatever it may be. I think this is the unfortunate truth with why there's so many suicides in dentistry is you have people that are in their silo working alone.
Hmm.
They may reach out to some people and try to be vulnerable, but if those people don't really understand what they're going through, then they
Right.
really feel isolated, they really feel alone, and they really feel like there's no reason for, I don't know what my purpose is in life, right? If
Yeah.
my whole purpose in life was to be this dentist, and now, I'm having some problems, or I'm having relationship problems with my patients or my staff members, then, they get to this unfortunate dark place where they can't get any empathy or any sympathy from people, and that's a
Right.
hard place to be.
For sure. And also, for people who are 1 to 5 years out, it's always good to talk to a therapist too, Any stress in life, I have a therapist myself as well, and I have a coach myself too. I just feel like I've been trying to get as much help as I can. I feel like I've grown so much the past year, and I feel like I was in a darker place a couple months ago, and I have never, had the need to rely on medication at all. So basically, I was prescribed with Wellbutrin a couple of weeks ago. Gosh, life changed so much too. I was like so much happier as well. I just feel like, as a dentist, it's a very stressful job. You don't want to deny how stressful you are. If you need help mentally, seek
That's
for
right.
help for sure.
Reach
Yeah.
out to people. Yeah, I think there's, that comes with the taboo topic of mental health is like everybody goes through stress, everybody goes through anxiety, some people go through
Yeah.
depression. Like this is a part of being a human being, and there's nothing weak about this. There's
Right.
nothing, taboo about talking about this. If you need to reach out to somebody, reach out to somebody. And especially I would say my advice for those that are on the other side of it, if someone reaches out to you, make sure that you are there to be empathetic to them, really understand what they're talking about, be willing to give advice, be willing to be there, and be an ear to listen to this person, because this is them giving you the opportunity to really, really help them. So
Right.
yeah, really, really
Yeah.
good. So last question. What would you say to someone who's like, I've seen this course and I'm thinking about it, but I don't really know. What would be your advice for them?
Well, definitely say yes to this course. There are a lot of times you do all those courses, that's non-mental health related. I feel like your course is the only course for dentists that focus on mental health. And every dentist stressed. There's no dentist that has no stress in life. And I feel like I got so much out of this course every single week. All the material it gave out, it was all based on evidence, research. I just feel like I've learned so much about everything, and every dentist should definitely learn about this. And it's not that crazy expensive either, and it's so affordable, and I feel like it's really worth it. It's better than a lot of other courses out there for sure. Yeah, totally recommend
thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you so much. Well, Barb, thanks for being vulnerable, talking about some of your difficult times. You definitely will help others that are watching this that may be thinking that they're the only one, and they may, resonate with you as someone, who's a woman or who is an immigrant or who has been practicing for 5 years or anything. You will connect with people, and you being vulnerable will help spread this, these good vibes in our community. So thanks for taking the time.
You're welcome. And
I
also,
really appreciate it.
anyone who needs to reach out to me, questions, have any questions about the course, feel free to contact me as well. Yeah, and you're welcome, Kyle.
Oh, thank you so much. I'll see you next week at our meeting.
Yep, see you next week. Nice talking
All right,
to you,
Barb.
Kyle.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.